Welcome to Shikama Live Show with your host, Shikama. What happens when you eat 2 to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil each and every day? I've seen this video done on YouTube, and normally it's done automatically by robots, and they have the robotic voice going on. So I thought I'd put a human factor to it. Some people put it on their skin, some people put it in their hair, some people use it on their foot fungus, some people eat it. But what is the truth about what really happens when you ingest and use coconut oil on the body? Just right off the top, overweight people taking 2 tablespoons for 4 weeks, overweight men, lost 1.1 inches from their waist. This was not changing anything else in their diet. That means they still ate pizza, they ate cake, they ate whatever. They simply added 2 tablespoons of coconut oil each and every day, and in 4 weeks they lost 1.1 inches off their waist. Women were not so successful. It took them 12 weeks. Before you start ingesting coconut oil just right off the bat, think you're going to just whip out your tablespoon and just go at it, 3 tablespoons a day. We recommend, me and my group of my army of experts here, we recommend that you actually start with literally 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon about a day for about a week, and see if everything comes out okay, if you know what I mean. And then up that to 1 tablespoon, and then up that to 2 tablespoons, and then finally 3 tablespoons seems to be optimal for optimal function, which I will talk about later. Optimal brain function. Each tablespoon contains 130 calories. Now, if you ask your doctor, should you be consuming something that has 130 calories in 1 tablespoon, your doctor more than likely will say, oh, 130 calories, that's way too much. And you're going to take 3 of those? That's half your calories in 1 day. We do recommend that you consult your physician, but make sure that your physician is one who is aware of nutrition. Not all doctors are even aware of nutrition. Nutrition, specifically nutrition. It also contains medium-chain triglycerides, which speed up metabolism. Hence, the weight reduction, right? And also, 50% of the oil contains lauric acid. When ingested, it forms monolaurin. These, lauric acid and monolaurin, kill bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Because I'm a fun guy. It also kills Staphylococcus aureus and Candida albicans, which cause yeast infection in humans. They specified humans. Apparently it doesn't kill. I don't know why they said humans. But you get the benefit of that. So, of course, we're talking about something that you're going to ingest. So it has to go through your entire digestive system. But once you have a body saturated in the oil, meaning once your levels build up because you're eating coconut oil every day, more than likely you will see benefits come to your body. Because, and I said all of that because eating something, digesting something is very slow. Even taking medications is very slow. The oil provides food for ketones, which reduces hunger. The oil reduces epileptic seizures in kids in a low-carb diet, even on drug-resistant epileptic kids. So they had a lot of success on kids who were completely drug resistant for epilepsy. They gave them the coconut oil, put them on a low-carb diet, and voila, their epileptic seizures were drastically reduced. Oil has healthy saturated fats, which increases HDL cholesterols and lowers LDL cholesterols. The good HDL is heart healthy by reducing oxidation of the cholesterol. And it's the oxidation. It's not the wood that causes the fire. You see how backwards that thinking is? They kept thinking cholesterol was the culprit. It's like the people who literally thought that having wood in their fireplace would cause a fire. And this is why people would store wood outside in the element, although they've already chopped it up and all that sort of stuff, right? Because they thought that the wood, and I'm not even joking on that, that's true. Applied to the skin, it can reduce eczema. So, it also reduces everything else up involving the skin when you apply it directly to the skin. It blocks 20% of ultraviolet sun rays, which of course then helps reduce wrinkles. It helps reduce any sort of skin cancer or anything like that, right? Used in the mouth, called oil pulling, it removes fat-soluble bacteria and plaque. A lot of people brush, and they still have plaque. Why do they still have plaque, they wonder? Because it's fat-soluble, not water-soluble. So all of this water, although a lot of dentists use water picks and all that sort of stuff, and all the water pick really is doing is flushing out any loose bacteria. Anything that's already attached to your teeth is literally going to still stay attached to your teeth, right? So you need a fat in your mouth. Oil is a fat. Thus, it will then reduce the fat-soluble. It will melt the fat-soluble bacteria and plaque off of your teeth. In Alzheimer's, it helps patients use glucose for brain functions, which restores brain function. So, the oil helps insulin. It helps the body metabolize glucose. That means it helps the body use the sugars derived from actually eating. We're talking about glucose, right? So everything is really, in the scientific world, has been reduced to, does it provide you with glucose, which is used for energy on the cellular level. So in Alzheimer's patients, they have discovered that the Alzheimer's patients have Alzheimer's because of their inability to metabolize glucose in the brain. So if you cannot get energy from glucose in brain cells, you're going to have a really hard time using your brain cells. So the coconut oil helps the body, helps each at the cellular level, each cell metabolize glucose, which then helps the Alzheimer's patients and the dementia patient actually use the glucose for energy, thus restoring brain function. This is amazing. This is amazing. But, of course, as per the American Medical Association, you cannot say that coconut oil restores, cures, or anything, right? So that comes with a warning that these haven't been tested. Okay, why aren't you testing them? You've tested weight loss, you've tested everything else. They've literally tested everything. They've tested foot fungus. They've tested everything. Nail fungus. They've tested skin cancer. They've tested everything, but they won't test at a peer-reviewed study level for Alzheimer's and dementia. What you scared of? Huh? What you scared of? Don't you want to cure people? Finally, don't buy cheap coconut oil. Because of all of the fantastic benefits of coconut oil, I've started the oil pulling, applying it on my skin, applying it to my feet, applying it in other areas which had fungal infections, which I won't go into. And I've had amazing results. Scary results. Go slow. Go slow. It is effective. Go slow. Let me say that. Don't buy cheap coconut oil. Why? Because a lot of times the cheap coconut oil is actually cut with stuff like soybean oil, which causes cancer. Soybean oil, canola oil, what is it? Is it called rapeseed oil? Rapeseed oil causes cancer. All of these other oils that the industry has come up, which are all, of course, made in the laboratory, and that's why they're so cheap. So they're making the products cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, not through distribution, not through logistics, which means that if you were a big, huge corporation who could buy millions of barrels of coconut oil, you would have you could really buy it at a much reduced price, because the manufacturer then would be like, woohoo, our entire inventory has been shipped out and bought, right? So they would reduce. That's logistics. They're not doing logistics. They only buy, 50,000 barrels of coconut oil, and then they splice it with all of these other oils, which reduce the price, because it's man-made toxic garbage. Because they've discovered people want coconut oil. Instead of delivering coconut oil, they're delivering this garbage. So you want organic, at the very least organic or pure coconut oil. I don't know if it's a cold press. I don't know if they do cold press on coconut, but the most non-processed, the much better. Thank you all for watching, and that's what happens when you eat 3 tablespoons of coconut oil per day. Like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, because subscribing doesn't do anything other than tally you as a number. Thank you all for watching.